What's up, everyone, and welcome back to CoinBlaw. Today, we're tackling the massive story shaking up global finance as we speak. The old king of finance, SWIFT, has just launched its own blockchain-based payment system. Their goal? To knock Ripple XRP and Stellar XLM right out of the market. Is this Titan's counterattack the beginning of the end for crypto? Or is it just an ancient relic with a fancy new coat of paint? Today, we're tearing down SWIFT's flashy announcement to expose the critical, structural flaws hiding underneath. And we'll break down exactly why XRP and XLM are not only going to survive this, but why they are set to become absolutely essential. Right now, Wall Street and London are buzzing about SWIFT's new 2026 next-gen payment scheme. On the surface, it looks flawless. It uses a shared ledger system built on Ethereum Layer 2 technology, allowing giants like JP Morgan and Citigroup to share data in real time. It looks like the big banks have absorbed all the speed and transparency of blockchain without needing the actual cryptocurrency. We see things differently. Let me give you an analogy. You can paint an old steam locomotive to look like a brand new Tesla. You can even gut the inside and install a fancy digital dashboard, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still running on a clunky, outdated engine. SWIFT's big innovation is just an evolution in messaging, how information is sent. The fundamental engine that actually moves the money hasn't changed at all. To understand this difference, you need to know about DNS versus RTGS. This is the absolute core of today's video, so listen closely. The SWIFT system is, at its heart, like a bar tab. Instead of paying every time you grab a drink, the bartender just writes it down on a ledger to be settled later. No matter how fast SWIFT's new shared ledger gets, it only speeds up the act of writing down the IOU. It's just a faster promise. The actual money hasn't moved. This is called Deferred Net Settlement, or DNS. But what happens if the bar goes bankrupt before you settle your tab? That ledger becomes worthless. This is the biggest nightmare in the entire financial system, and it's called counterparty risk. It's the risk that the other guy won't be able to pay you back. Ripple's XRP ledger, on the other hand, is like putting cash on the table for every single drink you order. This is called real-time gross settlement, or RTGS. The moment you press the button, the actual value itself moves. There's no need to settle up later, and zero worry that the other party might default. While SWIFT is a system for rapidly exchanging promises of value, Ripple is a system for moving the value itself. This means the cost of trust drops to nearly zero. This technical difference creates a cost difference that is astronomical. It all comes down to something called nostro-vostro accounts. In simple terms, for a bank in Korea to send money to the US, it has to pre-deposit a huge pile of US dollars in an American account, just in case. Globally, the estimated amount of money just sitting in these pre-funded accounts is around $27 trillion. Let that number sink in. It's like having to keep a massive pipeline constantly full of water just so you can send a small cup through it when needed. This is called dormant capital. That $27 trillion isn't being invested. It's not earning any meaningful interest. It's just sitting there, rotting away, waiting for a transfer to happen. The model proposed by Ripple and Stellar is designed to completely empty that pipeline. You only need liquidity for the moment of transfer. Using XRP or XLM as a bridge asset, the entire transaction takes about 3 seconds. The pipeline is filled and emptied almost instantly. So, from a bank's perspective, would you rather use SWIFT's upgraded system that still requires you to lock up capital, or Ripple's system that frees up $27 trillion for you to invest? In terms of capital efficiency, the answer is crystal clear. It's not even a fair fight. Furthermore, their market scopes are completely different. SWIFT's new system is an expensive, private country club. Only major banks in developed nations can afford the membership. But the real global economy is expanding into Southeast Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Smaller banks in these regions simply can't afford SWIFT's high maintenance fees. And this is where Stellar and Ripple truly shine, especially now in 2026, as we're witnessing the explosion of real-world asset tokenization, or RWA. We're seeing global asset managers like Franklin Templeton running U.S. Treasury funds on the Stellar network. We're seeing Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD becoming a safe haven for institutional capital. This goes way beyond simple payments. It means a small business owner in Nigeria can invest in U.S. Treasuries through their Stellar wallet. Then they can take the returns from that investment and, using XRP, send payment to their supplier in Japan in 3 seconds. SWIFT built a superhighway for banks, but Ripple and Stellar have built the capillary network that connects every small street and alleyway in the entire world. So, in conclusion, SWIFT's 2026 project isn't a weapon to kill Ripple. It's essentially a white flag, an admission that blockchain technology is now the financial standard. In fact, SWIFT is already experimenting with technologies like Chainlink's CCIP to connect their closed-off ledger to public blockchains. The future isn't a winner-take-all game. The key word is interoperability. SWIFT will likely remain the internal network for huge banks. Meanwhile, XRP and XLM will serve as the essential interledger bridges that connect all these different financial networks together. No matter how strong a massive dam SWIFT is, it's useless without the canals, Ripple and Stellar, that deliver the water, liquidity, to where it's actually needed. In the great financial war of 2026, the winner won't be the entity that controls the old system. The winner will be the one who awakens the $27 trillion of sleeping capital and uses it to create real, tangible value across the globe. That's our CoinBlaw analysis for today. Always remember to look past the flashy marketing and follow the cold, hard logic of capital. Your likes and subscriptions give us the fuel to create more in-depth content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.